I would like to go over the assignment. For this assignment, you will be retrofitting this existing desktop fixed width layout web page into a responsive web page that will look good on tablets and in smartphones. You will accomplish that by using media queries. You will need to change the layout by adjusting the widths, changing them into percents, and making the images responsive. You do not really need to be worried about the background image, as that will scale fine. Smaller pixel units that are used for margins and padding will probably also scale fine. So you don't really need to change them to percents. However, you may, should you wish to do so. There are conflicting schools of thought on whether small units of pixels really need to be converted to percents. However, you do need to adjust the layout and the navigation. I am looking at this web page in a 1280 pixel resolution. It is pretty obvious that it is designed in a fixed width container. So what you need to do is you need to go into the HTML and see how the code is laid out first. Here we have our outer wrapper. There's our header, which is the full width of the existing container. There's the navigation. There's the main container. That's our left-hand column. Here's the aside. That's our right-hand column. And here is our footer. So you need to understand how the HTML works. You also need to understand how the CSS works. You're going to need to go into the CSS and take a look at where the main widths are set. You're going to need to see where the floats are set, because they are the properties that will need to be changed in order to accommodate the other devices. So let's take a look at what happens when I slowly change the browser width. Now notice at one point we are now 100% into the browser. We have lost that top margin. We have lost the margins on the right and left. So this is our first breakpoint. And you can use the breakpoints in the handout, or you can determine the breakpoints that you feel work best. So now our outer container is 100% width. We still have two columns here. At a smaller resolution, that will look fine. And notice our images are scaling. They're becoming a little responsive here. And our text is wrapping. When you get to another point, that right-hand column will no longer look good. Left-hand column and the right-hand column now need to stack on top of each other. These images look nice in a 2x2 manner here. So at this second breakpoint, I would like the images to be 2 per row. However, as we get a little smaller for a phone, phones don't work well with 2 columns. At that point, all the images are going to stack. We also have an issue with navigation. At a certain breakpoint, which is probably the phone, that navigation is no longer going to work. You're going to need to style it a little bit. You're also going to need to make sure that it's 100% width for the LIs, and you're going to have to add some kind of a line, and that is a bottom border that I have here. So this is one way of working with the navigation. Should you wish to use another tool in order to create the responsive navigation, you certainly may. And this is the jQuery SlickNav plugin. There are many out there, and I have some references provided for you. You are free to edit majority of this code should you wish to do so, as long as you maintain the basic layout.